Hey, what's up guys, Kolst here, bringing you this next video, a Darkmoon Faire second meta update. So, as of recording this, it's been about a week that the expansion has been out. It's been actually a pretty fun expansion, all things considered, I think. And I figured it's been enough time now that the meta is settled, a lot of the win rates are fleshed out, so wanted to go really quickly through that, and wanted to add another topic, which is a thing I was noticing might have been true, but it's that a bunch of cards appear to be missing completely from Arena. Well, you can discover them, but you can't draft them. And there's 17 of them, so quite a significant number, certain classes specifically getting the shaft there. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So, I'm not going to talk too long about the win rates here, because honestly, the win rates are pretty much exactly what I expected them to look like after day one. If you haven't watched that video yet, you can watch it up here, assuming I remember to put the card up there. But essentially, as I predicted, Demon Hunter, pretty easy number 1, Warlock, pretty easy number 2, and then there's kind of everyone else. Warlock edging out Priest and Paladin, kind of a clear tier, I don't know, tier 2, tier 3, depending on whether you count this as 1 or 2 tiers. There's a tier here, and then kind of a tier here. I think the only class I kind of mispredicted was Druid. I thought Druid would be up here with like Mage and Shaman, but actually Druid fell below Rogue. And then there's poor Hunter right at the bottom there. So, pretty much what was predicted, but essentially, yeah, there's the same takeaway is that there's a huge difference between number 1 and number 2. And everyone else, and there's also a pretty huge difference between the bad classes down here. One takeaway I've had from playing, obviously the meta is not fully figured out yet. It's going to evolve as it usually does. When it tends to evolve, the meta tends to speed up a little bit, and the reason is because a lot of people right now are drafting pretty insanely greedy, it seems like. That's why I've had pretty good success picking a class like Paladin and just curving out and just putting the opponent's life to 0. So it works out pretty well, and it's especially good because you don't really want to be playing long games against Demon Hunters and Warlocks, so it tends to be a pretty solid strategy if you're not getting one of the top 2 classes there. But that's I think all I have to say there. Let's just get right into the second topic, which is there's a lot of cards that appear to be missing from the Arena mode. Alright, so this again, I'm still looking at HS Replay. I've clicked on the Arena section, and I've done a particular query. You can essentially do the same thing as me, selecting the new set, Darkmoon Faire, the ascending order. And you can see a weird thing is that there's just all these cards that have exactly 0. This is kind of new, I don't know why this one apparently existed once. But yeah, all these cards appear to not be draftable in Arena. So I didn't post this in the original video, partially because I think I found out right at the end, and I wasn't sure if this was a bug on HS Replay, but apparently the HS Replay people have answered that this is not a bug, and I've played enough runs and I haven't seen a drafted version of any of these cards, so I'm willing to assume that this is indeed the case, that these cards are not draftable right now. It's important to note, again, that just because they are not draftable doesn't mean they don't exist. You will see them discovered. Like, I've gotten Throw Glaive off of a Spell Discoverer, you can get a Bladed Lady off of a Demon Discover, these kinds of things. So it's important to note these cards can still exist. But if you're playing around, like for example, Rigged Fair game and it's not a discovered secret, it's important to keep that in mind. So because of this, I'm going to go through, I guess I'll go class by class, and just kind of go over each of these cards individually. Because as I mentioned, there are 2 particular classes that have a lot of the cards missing, and those 2 classes are Demon Hunter and Shaman. I guess we'll look at neutrals first. The only neutral card is Kathir Ritualist, which is the 3 mana 4/4 taunt battle cry, add a random 4-cost minion to your opponent's hand. It's a very weird card. I was interested to see how well this card would actually perform, because it's really good tempo, but it's literally negative value a lot of the time, so I was curious to see how valuable that card would be. And every 3-drop is actually very important right now, so it would be a fair suspicion of mine that you would actually pick this card at least sometimes. But yeah, I guess we're not going to be picking this card right now because it's undraftable. Oh, the other thing I should mention before I get further, I actually responded to when people started to notice this, and there was like a Arena HS Reddit thread, my comment was like, because Blizzard did actually say they were flirting with the idea of making these cards, starting to ban cards in Arena. And I was thinking it is possible that some of these cards would be cards that they would actually choose to ban. Like, for example, Dunk Tank. This is an extremely powerful card, potentially, and some of these other cards, like the Whack-A-Mole Hammer, are also extremely strong. But there are other cards on this list, like, I can't imagine they would ban Day at the Fair, for instance. Like, that just seems kind of weird, and their ritual is too. So, this is probably a mistake on Blizzard's side. Maybe they started to ban a couple cards and they accidentally banned way more than they intended. I don't know, but Blizzard hasn't answered anything, obviously. They don't tend to answer this, and if it wasn't for sources like HS Replay, we wouldn't even necessarily know about this was even being the case, so who knows, maybe they'll add them back, we really don't know. But anyway, let's get back into classes. So I'm going to start with Demon Hunter now. So Bladed Lady, which is the 6-mana 6/6 rush, which costs 1 if your hero has 6 or more attack, which is a pretty difficult condition to trigger in Arena, at least. It is very possible. You have a weapon and a Twin Slice, like, you can definitely get there. It's not the most unreasonable thing, but most of the time a 6-mana 6/6. And again, it is a card that you will see discovered off of a Demon Discover sometimes, so just keep in mind. It's not like this is really a card you play around a ton anyway, but just to know it's there. Bellscream Blast, another card which I have seen discovered from a Spell Discover. But this is the 1-mana lifesteal in a cone, so you just have to know again, like, this is not a card you have to play around if people haven't discovered a spell. Spellsteel Executioner is the next one. This is elemental, so it is not a card you see discovered off of a demon, so I don't think I've seen this card, period, because I'm not even sure if it's even possible to be discovered. So it's the 3-mana 4/3 that corrupts to become a weapon, which again would be an extremely powerful card, potentially a card that you could have justified banning just for balance reasons, but who knows, right? The next one, Insatiable Felhound. This is the 3-mana 2/5 taunt, which gains +1/+1 in lifesteal with Corrupt. Another very strong card, not a card you would probably ban, but it's extremely strong, and it is a card you will occasionally see off Demon Discovers. Although, usually when people are doing the Demon Discover, they go for something bigger, but on turn 2, Demon Discover into turn 3 this. Something you might see sometimes. Next card is Stilt Stepper, which is the 3-mana 4/1 Battlecry draw card. If you play it this turn, give your hero +4 attack. Again, not sure how good this card would actually be, but yeah. This is definitely not a card you play around, so you know it's that. Then the last one, this is like the 6th Demon Hunter card, which is not showing up right now, is Throw Glaive. Again, a card that you will see off of Spell Damage Discovers, and this is an extremely strong card as well. Every time I've discovered this or randomly generated off of like a Wand Maker, for instance, I've been really happy. So, the card is extremely good too. And it's crazy, like, because Demon Hunter is so good right now. Just imagine if Demon Hunter also had some of these cards at their disposal. Okay, so the next class is Druid, which is Cenarian Ward, which is 8 mana, gain 8 armor, summon a random 8 cost minion. I don't think this card would be great, but it would be a playable card. I guess since this card doesn't exist, you don't have to worry about them playing the 2 mana spell to double cast this thing, so that would be like the best use of this card. And the other card not showing up in Druid right now is the legendary, actually. There are a couple legendaries on this list. This one is Greybow, which is the 5-mana 4/6 Death Rattle, which if you have multiple minions on board, basically it never goes away. So a lot of value that Druid doesn't have access to that they otherwise would. Let's see, so Hunter doesn't have any cards missing, they have access to everything. Mage, they actually have their legendary spell, Deck of Lunacy, removed. Which, I mean, this card would just be pretty clown fiesta, but you'd honestly pretty much never see this. I think I had one of these, like, I was at least offered one of these in a Spell Discover, but I didn't take it, so, you know. Not too much of a thing, but then again, Rigged Fair Game is the other card which is not showing up. So again, like, you can play like a Spell Discover, like there's the 4-mana Corrupt, which casts 2 secrets, I believe it's called Ring Toss, where you will see this card very often off of Ring Toss. Or even maybe off of a Spell Discover, but otherwise keep in mind that you will never see this. At least for the time being. Unless, as soon as I record this video and upload it, maybe then Blizzard might add all these cards back, but who knows. Next card, as I said, another kind of strange addition to this list, because it's actually a card that Blizzard advertised very beginning in the expansion to showcase the Corrupt mechanic, and it's Day at the Fair, which is 3 Sylvan Recruits, which is pretty bad, but then If you corrupt, you summon 5. And there is some dude synergy, so this would be one of the biggest ways to take advantage of the dude synergy, so it's kind of interesting that this card is gone. Next card on this list is Fairground Fool, which is Priest's really good 3-drop, which is a 3-mana 4/3 taunt, which is already a good card, and if you corrupt it, it's a 3-mana 4/7 taunt, which is absolutely insane. Let me see, Rogue has no cards missing, and then the other class that has a whole bunch of them missing is Shaman. So they are missing a couple very strong cards. One question I was asked pretty early in the meta was, how is Shaman doing so poorly? And this is a huge part of the reason why. It's because they're missing some of their best cards. So they are missing Dunk Take, which is basically 4-mana deal 4. If you corrupt it, it's a super swipe. They're missing Revolve, which is an interesting card. Probably not the strongest card in Arena, but you know, it would have its uses. It's kind of like a bad Devolving Missiles, maybe. Sometimes it's a good Devolving Missiles, so yeah, it would definitely be a card that would be significant if it existed. Storm Strike, which is just a really crazy tempo card, deal 3 twice essentially for 3 mana. This is an extremely powerful card. Whack-a-Null Hammer, one of the best weapons ever printed. It's a Fiery War Axe with minion buffs attached. If you can get value out of that, and even if you can't, it's good, but if you can get value out of that, it's absolutely insane. So yeah, Shaman losing a lot of really powerful cards and tools here. And then, let's see, Warlock has nothing missing. I mean, that's part of the reason Warlock is so good. And Warrior also has nothing missing. So yep, that's the full list. Just wanted to go through all of these really quickly, just to give you guys an idea of what these cards were. Other than that, I guess there's not much else I have to say. Just go back out there and have some fun in the arena. Thanks a lot for hanging out, everyone. If you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. Any comment, even negative ones. Don't make too many negative comments, but they help the algorithm, just saying. But yeah, anyway. Of course, if you want to see more of our runs live, you can check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/kolst. But anyway, that's about it for me. Thanks a lot for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time.